I welcome you to the most glorious, abundant, satisfying, and deeply sweet dawn of your entire reality. Feel how the air of this Friday, April 10th, 2026, has completely changed. The atmosphere has become dense, nourishing, and is charged with the intoxicating fragrance of well-deserved reward. Today you inhabit the Friday of supernatural harvest, the day of tangible results, and the triumphant closing of your week of executive government. We have left behind the intensity of Monday's command, the acceleration of Tuesday, the depth of Wednesday, and the raw force of Thursday to enter, with a firm step and an expanded heart, into the sanctuary of manifestation, fullness, and rejoicing. Friday is not just the end of a work cycle. It is the portal of the fruit, the sacred dimensional space where the strategic sower becomes a tireless harvester, and where the architect of dreams finally sees their blueprints transformed into physical matter, favorable numbers, and palpable realities. I officially welcome you to the frequency of the air and victory, that superior level of consciousness where you stop fighting to achieve success and begin to walk, breathe, and dwell within it. Today's sun does not rise merely to illuminate your journey. It rises exclusively to shine upon your trophies, to magnetize the blessings that belong to you by legal right of conquest, and to grant you the supreme joy of one who looks back and knows, with absolute certainty, that their labor has not been in vain, that their faith has been rewarded, and that their obedience to the design has yielded fruit that surpasses all understanding. It is the imperative, urgent, radical, and absolute moment to perform a deep cleansing of your spirit. Eradicate right now any trace of a scarcity mindset, any vestige of doubt regarding your own worthiness, or that ancestral fear that the good things will soon end. Friday was designed by eternity specifically for those who persevere, for those who did not give up on the Tuesday of weariness or the Thursday of battle. It is for those who understand that every strategic sowing under heaven's design has an obligatory, mathematical, and supernatural harvest. Today is the solemn declaration before the universe that your hands are clean and ready to receive, that your internal and external barns are wide open for abundance, and that your heart is the most fertile ground for the birth of miracles. You must change your mental configuration right now. Today you are not simply ending the week. Today you are reclaiming your spoil of glory. This is the day of total realization, where the wisdom of the design and the authority of the execution merge to produce the mature fruit. Eradicate complaining from your language. Today your focus must be extreme gratitude, the conscious celebration of every small and great achievement, and the unshakable resolve to close this cycle with such excellence that it leaves an indelible mark on the records of eternity. Rise with the conviction that you possess an unction of favor, a grace that attracts unexpected opportunities, that opens taps of provision that others do not even know exist, and that establishes a standard of living that emanates from the inexhaustible abundance of the kingdom. As the word of immovable abundance teaches us, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who continually goes forth weeping, bearing seed for sowing, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Understand the legal depth of this truth for your Friday. Today the laws of divine retribution are activated in your favor. Your faithfulness in the process, your discipline in the silence, and your courage in the execution have activated a law of attraction that will make every action, every email, every meeting, and every thought of this day translate into real benefit, tangible gain, and lasting peace. As you begin this day, decree over every fiber of your being that you possess the DNA of prosperity and the mindset of those who celebrate from the mountain peak. You are not someone who ends the week in exhaustion or defeat. You are the conqueror returning to camp with the fruit, the leader who sees their house filled with goods, and the soul that rests in the absolute certainty that everything you have touched during these days has been blessed and has prospered exponentially. Sovereign God of abundance, Lord of the eternal harvest and inexhaustible source of all provision, in this Friday dawn we present ourselves before your presence with a heart overflowing with jubilee and a gratitude that knows no human limits. We thank you for the order of Monday, the acceleration of Tuesday, the strategic wisdom of Wednesday, and the executive force of Thursday. And above all, we thank you for this day of harvest that you allow us to inhabit today by your grace. We bless this Friday as the day where resources flow without obstacles toward us, where positive answers find us even before we call, and where your favor surrounds us like an atmosphere of light and glory. We thank you for the fruit of our labor, for the overabundant provision on our table, and for the peace of knowing that you are our incessant provider. We decree today, with the authority of the established harvest and the seal of fullness upon our brow, on the manifestation of results and prosperity. We decree that the windows of heaven are opened wide with blessing over our finances, our businesses, our projects, and our family. We declare that today we receive news of expansion, that the fruits of our strategic decisions beco on the manifestation of results and prosperity, made visible to the human eye, and that the week's effort is transformed today into paid rest and full satisfaction. On the taking of possession and reclamation of goods, we decree that today we take legal and spiritual possession of everything that belongs to us by inheritance and by conquest. We establish a standard of financial, emotional, and spiritual freedom that will astonish our surroundings. We declare that we are living magnets for prosperity, that we close high-impact deals, and that our very presence attracts blessing upon the places we step. On the triumphant closing and excellence of results, we decree that we finish this week at the absolute summit of success. We identify every blessing received and celebrate it with honor and humility. Our Friday journey is a model of fullness, satisfaction, and divine grace. Nothing we planned remains halfway. Today everything reaches its perfect culmination. On the shielding of joy and generosity, we protect our joy from any shadow of envy, criticism, or feeling of scarcity. We declare that our gaze is fixed on the abundance of the Father, that our spirit is generous to share the fruit, and that we will finish this day with the absolute satisfaction of having closed the cycle with a resounding victory and a heart at peace. On the preparation for the rest of Kings, we decree that this harvest today prepares the ground for a restorative Saturday rest. We declare that we do not take burdens into the weekend, but trophies. We do not take worries, but testimonies of your faithfulness. Prosperous, wiser, and stronger than yesterday, and we establish today the living testimony that your hand always, without exception, fills us with good things and leads us from triumph to triumph. Go forth right now to meet your Friday with your head held high, with a smile of victory on your lips, and a gaze filled with the light of one who already holds the prize in their hands. This Friday is your harvest field, it is your banquet of honor, and it is your zone of total fullness. Gratitude is now your natural language, and abundant results are your inevitable reality. The entire world is waiting to see the mature fruit of someone who has walked under the design, the authority, and the faith of the King of Kings. Go and rule your Friday today with a peace that commands respect, with an excellence that knows no shadow, and with an abundance that heaven itself has sealed upon your life forever. Your harvest is today, your fruit is manifest now, and your victory is celebrated on earth and in